I live by. And you know how it is where we at, nigga. They say money can't buy happiness, but I be happy as a bitch when I can have dinner. Learn from your losses or you end up like the last nigga. I fall off, I bounce back, I really come from the dirt.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Is it on? Oh. Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Nate Couser. We're here despite how despite how hot it is. Today is just that day. What is going on? Let's try this again. Can you hear me? So today is just that day. It is so hot outside, and I don't do well with heat. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I was born in the spring, and it was raining and cool, and this heat is just not what I do. But we're here, nevertheless, coming off of a cool week. This weekend is Artscape weekend. So if you are an artist or you love the art, this is your opportunity to meet many artists, see some free shows, some free concerts. I don't really know. I'm going to look up who the performance artists are, but I don't know who are the headliners this weekend. I normally know that information, but I didn't participate in the concert portion of it. I normally do some of the backstage with some of the artists, but I didn't do that this year. But there are a number of performers. I'm looking forward to Easy Jackson's album release after party tonight, so I'm probably try to get a little nap and head over there after the show. But I'm looking forward. Artscape has grown tremendously since I was younger, and it really takes up a lot of that Mount Vernon, Charles Street, Mount Royal area now, so much so that they're locking off streets 2-3 days before. So it is one of the biggest art shows in the United States, actually. So definitely take a moment. I know it's very hot outside, but there's still things going on. Like now, it's not as hot as it was, so it's your opportunity to get out there. And it's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. There are plenty of cooling stations. MTA normally sets up a number of cooling stations with their buses, and they're normally spread out in a couple different locations throughout Artscape, so you can get on the Meyerhoff, the Old Lyric, and a number of the other businesses and artists places around that area normally open their doors and the AC be blasting, so it's an opportunity to cool off. So don't let the heat determine whether or not you're going to be there, but come on out and definitely enjoy yourself. I'll be at the LTYC's Leaders of Tomorrow Youth Center table tomorrow and Sunday. So come on, say hi to me, come stop by the table, see how you can share your support. I normally either perform or I'm doing interviews, and I didn't do either of that, so I kind of will give my attention to LTYC this weekend. But the weather is normally extremely hot, or it just rains out. And last year was the first year that it rained so bad that they actually had to close it down for a day. Like it rained the whole day, and it still rained a little bit that Sunday and that Friday as well, but that Saturday was completely rained out. So that's the first time I ever known that to happen. It normally rains and it's normally really hot, or some combination of the two. But this year is pretty good. It's hot, but it's not unbearable because there are plenty of cooling stations, like I said. Today I wanted to touch on a few topics, and it really had to do with whitewashing white dreams, and we're going to talk about that a little bit throughout the show. We actually have a guest today, Mr. Jaheim Johnson. He'll be stopping by. He's a talented young man that I met last Friday. I'm going to tell you all about, in the next segment, I'll tell you all about an event that I hosted last Friday. That's why I didn't do the show last Friday. I hosted an event for Marilyn Mosby. Myself and my co-host, actually, he DJ'd the event. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. That was pretty interesting. Got to talk to her briefly. But nevertheless, I met this young man there. He was really talented and just really energetic, and I wanted him to come on and kind of get a dose. He's only 17, so this probably, I think he's been interviewed before, but this may be his first interview on radio. But we're going to meet him, and hopefully he brings his drum with him so he can perform a little bit for us. If you are looking for a space to market and promote yourself, the Artist Exchange is definitely that place. If you're looking for somebody to host the event or facilitate a workshop, I'm also your man. I have a number of workshops that I facilitate, but if you have an idea for one, definitely hit me up at the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, and I am ready and waiting for you. Some other things that I'm gonna announce kind of at the end of the show, some initiatives that we have going on, but one of them that I want to talk about now is we have a workshop going on with some young people, and we're looking for more young people to actually join us and showing them how to build a radio show. So I'll be working with them in conjunction with the Artist Exchange Radio Show and doing a kind of a startup to a youth-driven, youth-focused, youth-run radio show here on BeExposedRadio.com. So stay tuned for that. If you have a young person between the ages of, say, 15 to 20, 21 at the oldest, definitely send them our way. Again, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, and we'll be doing that this summer. And I definitely want to support the young people and support the youth, and we've been trying to figure out how to incorporate the youth into not only the Artist Exchange but Be Exposed Radio at large. And we didn't want to do a traditional summer camp, but for the month of August we will be having them come on and start it up, and if they like it, if it works out, we're just going to try it. We would like to extend it for throughout the school year with the same group of children and kind of rotate some new students throughout, depending on their grades and just how well they do and professionalism. But more so like some professional development within the media field. And that's something that I do now. I work with a lot of young people. I teach music, vocal music, and I teach theater and visual art to a number of students throughout Baltimore City. Right now the company that I work for is LTYC, and I do some independent facilitating of art classes throughout the school year. So I try to stay busy, and I work a lot in terms of trying to figure out ways to just expose the community at large. I'll talk about some of the things that I'm doing with the Pill Center in conjunction with the youth radio show that we want to start here. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Please share it out. Let your friends know. I'm going to do my best to tag and add as many people to it. So don't go anywhere. The Artist Exchange Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement. Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous.
You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the past over. Kicking haters out of the way like mast over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't a man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save it, the weed too loud. And the pedal stool don't carry fakers. Always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patients run that, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, a sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. Shout out to Miss Joy Terrell. Shout out to Miss Joyce Walls for tuning in. Please share it out. Please let people know. And I'm ready to have people back on. We took a brief break for 2019 and we're back. And we'll be seeing some different things throughout the rest of the summer and going into the fall, some new partnerships and new individuals that we'll have come through the station. I got a little burnt out with just the regular interview process and asking certain questions, but I really wanted to get into the storytelling and really telling people stories. We've had a number of individuals come on. A few weeks ago, we had a gentleman that was a veteran, actually 2 weeks in a row. We had 2 veterans come through, and they had really compelling, really interesting stories, and I really want to get back to that. As an actor, first and foremost, that's what I do for a living. I tell stories, and it really intrigues me about people, because we see people in their everyday life, but we have really little to no idea unless we know them personally what their stories are. And I really want to get back into promoting people by way of their stories in terms of artists and entrepreneurs and community leaders. So for the last week, hey, Miss Walls, I miss you. You got to come back on. You got to come back on, talk, see what's coming up next. But in the last week, I've been working a lot with, if you don't know, I work with the Peel Center of Baltimore. It's a historical museum, the first purpose-built museum in the United States. It also housed what we know today as BGE, gaslighting, got its start there. The Rembrandt Peale and his team orchestrated gaslighting. And many of, if you remember at one point, Baltimore City used to have a lot of these gas lampposts around the city. You don't see them as much. They kind of took them down, and various museums have taken hold of them. But it was gaslighting was engineered there. After Rembrandt Peale sold the museum, he sold it to the city. The city took it over, and it became the first museum, the first city hall, while our current city hall was being built. And it was there for a number of years. And once they left, it was handed over to what then was the school system, and it became color school number 1 for boys and girls. First school for colored children in the United States. It quickly outgrew. It grew to over 600 students at one point, and it eventually outgrew the building, and they moved elsewhere and kind of branched it out to other schools. And then once we were allowed to go to secondary school, more so high school, they opened the school up to high schoolers, and what now is Frederick Douglass High School actually originated in its origin at that place. So I've been working with the Peel Center for about a year and a half now, helping them with a lot of that content and storytelling platforms, and we've done one series here already with Mama Linda Goss through their heritage grant that they received, and we were partnering with them to kind of tell people stories, and we did a whole series on the elders of Baltimore, elders from Baltimore who grew up in the colored school system, the segregated school system. And it really was an interesting platform, and it kind of ignited me taking a break the beginning of this year to kind of revamp and redo things. This is my 6th year doing radio, and as an artist, I get bored. Doing the same thing in and out can get kind of boring. Let me see. Okay, I'm ready, Miss Walls. Whatever you're ready, I'm ready. So yes, I've been working with that organization, and it's been really fulfilling because I've met many different people. We have, I believe, 3 different workshops, storytelling workshops coming up. One, we'll be interviewing a number of environmentalists throughout Maryland and beyond. Some of them will be calling in, some of them will be actually in the space, and some of them will be pre-recorded interviews that I'll be doing with a number of them. And that's for another grant that we're having with an environmentalist organization that is currently shutting down. And they want to interview a number of the people that they've worked with over the last 30 years. Another one, we'll be traveling with a few stops with, I want to say their name right, Tahari Brothers Ice Cream. It's a locally sourced ice cream company here, and we'll be going around trading ice cream for your story. So we want to gather as many stories as we can, and we have, I believe, 2 dates planned so far. So I'll give you more insight on where we'll be at so you can come get some nice ice cream. And then we have another one that's coming up that's still in the works. So I'll give you more information on that. Let me see how much time we have left. We got about a minute left. What else did I do this weekend? Oh, so with the Peel Center, I am managing a grant that we have with the Deutsch Foundation, and this grant was specifically made to help individuals cross some of those lines that we have, and the grant was to help individuals who wouldn't normally work together kind of cross promote racially, your sexual orientation, your sex, your whatever things that keep us divided. And it was meant to bring people together in a different type of way. And this was our first inaugural one. So we did a 3 micro grants. So we have 3 different organizations and individual artists that came together and are working together. And we have 3 different interesting projects that will be going up. And it was about them working together and then doing something that kind of speaks to how we can make Baltimore better. So the Mashup Grant, the opening day for that will be August the 9th, just in a few weeks. And it will be part of the Founders Day celebration at the Peel Center. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. I believe my guest may be here. So we're going to take another break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
This bitch jumping. Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel. If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head and I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, tell them where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell them where the cash. If you play it for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. What you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah. Come on, dog, throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. We wanna do it. Go ahead, do it. If I sit around.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue, and she wants to be this.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Nate. My co-host is stuck in traffic. He's coming from Artscape, so it's a little treacherous getting here around this time. But downtown, and if you didn't know, we're in downtown Baltimore, right by the harbor. And today we have a special guest, Mr. Jaheim Johnson. He is a musician. I met him actually last week at Marilyn Mosby pop-up series. She does a number of events throughout Baltimore City. I believe the next one is in August, and it'll be at the aquarium, actually. I believe either aquarium or science center is one of them. And she does this series, and she brings artists and different types of people together, mainly with a focus on the youth. And that's how I met Mr. Jaheim at Arena Players. So how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, hot outside.
A little hot?
Get down. Yeah.
It's a little hot. I mean, did you get to go to Artscape today?
No, yeah, I was planning on going after this.
Okay. Yeah, when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
That's smart, sir. But Jaheim is a really talented man. He was playing the single drum. And what kind of drum is that?
It's called a snare drum.
Snare drum, okay. So he was playing the snare drum. He's really talented. I learned he played other instruments as well. But we're going to get right into just him first telling us who he is, how old you are. You're out of school now, right?
Yes, sir.
What school you graduated from?
I graduated from Evanston Westside High School.
Okay. Right in the village. Did you take up music there, or did they have a big band there?
Yes, we had a small band, actually.
Okay. So how did music begin to be a part of your life?
Well, it started when I was in like 5th grade. I played trumpet for my elementary school. Deep Creek Elementary.
You only like 12, sir. Like, how you forget that soon?
Oh, so I went to Deep Creek Elementary, and it was like, and we had to play an instrument in order to graduate from there in the 5th grade. So I had a hard time deciding. I'm like, what instrument do I want to play? That's when I saw a trumpet there, and I'm like, I should know how to play trumpet. So I learned how to read, play trumpet. My favorite song was Hot Cross Buns and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Those are like the easiest ones to play. So was it a reason you got the trumpet, or was it just the process of elimination? Because you had to carry it home, and you was like, I'm gonna pick the smallest one to carry home. That's interesting, because right now, even in your age group, musicship is not a part of the curriculum, especially in terms of learning an actual instrument. There's a lot of choirs and such, or they have somebody come in and kind of give you the ins and outs, but actually learning music is not a part of it. So you know how to read music as well?
Yes, sir.
So if you to go to college, that's the hardest thing to learn how to do. I thought that's what I wanted to do, and my mind just didn't work like that at the time. But it's definitely a skill set. So that means you'll start writing music soon.
Yes, I actually started when I was in 11th grade. Because I was taking up music as like, it was an elective.
Okay.
And my band director gave me 2 choices to like learn like the history and stuff about music, or play my instrument and pass. I chose to like learn the history, and I chose to do both.
Okay.
So he showed me. It's called music.
Was it
theory.
easy? Was that an easy choice?
It has its ups and downs.
But you have been doing music for a minute, so it wasn't super difficult.
Like at first I thought it was just like, notes, like A, B and all that, and then he told me like, the key signature, look at the
composition, sir.
Everything like that.
That is, and most people, so I regret not really following through with piano, and it's really like I can play somewhat by ear. That's difficult in and of itself, but to learn composition and the music theory and learning the different, all we know is the scales. Most people know scales a little bit, but beyond that, just learning how to actually compose and just put a composition together is very complicated, and it could be a difficult thing to do to learn the older you get.
Yeah, when I decided to start writing, I thought, I just put the note here and there, but then you gotta like know how to like count it right, like the 8th notes, 16th notes, etc., stuff like that. So
was it easy? Do you feel like it was easier for you than it was for a lot of your classmates?
It was actually, because like I improved like faster than everybody else did. I have like a music background like in elementary school.
So how was your ear?
Like far as like airplane, like, pretty good. I'm not.
Because it's harder. That's not. Like that's like somebody who can't read that still performs and talks a lot because it's difficult because you got to be ahead of the curve to even know how to do that.
Yeah, I remember when I first joined the marching band. I played with my school's marching band, and I didn't know how to I didn't know any other songs, so I was just there airplaying, like acting like I knew what I was doing. So like at our performances, I was just.
But I'm quite sure somebody caught on.
Oh yeah.
Somebody had to catch on because you can tell that's lip singing is hard because you putting forth a lot of energy to do nothing, and you working twice as hard. But do you do the vocal side of music as well, or?
Oh no.
Why not?
Actually, speaking of that,
it should be super easy for you to do it now because now you understand all the different levels of music.
I thought about it when I was like in middle school because in elementary school I was in a school choir. Northwood.
Still air singing.
Oh no, I was actually singing this time.
So you can sing?
Nope.
He probably has an awesome voice. He's just jiving right now. So why didn't you choose to do it?
As I got older, my voice matured. You see, like deeper voice.
That happens.
You know, squeak a lot and all that.
Well, that is the training though. Once you train your voice, everybody voice ages, some more than others, but you can find some wiggle room inside of it to do some things. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it all fits together, but sometimes it's hard to choose one. Like most singers who know how to play music instruments, you don't never know that they know how to play it unless you're in like the booth with them kind of composing the music, because it's hard to kind of do both. But I'm quite sure it'll be easier for you because you've done so much along the way. So tell me about now being out of high school.
Yeah, it's boring.
It's boring. Yeah. This life. Welcome.
So like when I'm at home, like usually after school.
So you just graduated right? Okay.
June 9th.
Okay.
So usually, have school during the day. Then after school, I have practice, like work on a video or two, stuff like that. Now is practice all day and like work on a video whenever I get a chance or whenever like I feel like it, stuff like that.
Do you feel like, so I remember finishing high school and it felt like the same thing, because I was a career student, so I went to school year round throughout school. So going from that to waking up and like, so what are you gonna do today?
Right.
Like what's the plan? Are you working now?
Nope, not yet.
You just go take the summer and just relax a little bit. Enjoy that while it lasts, because that's not that's called homelessness.
I started
in the
school. I go to BCCC now. We
cool.
in the summer break, so they told me to go to the career development office and like talk to them about internships and all that. And they told me I got this internship coming up in October. I can sign up and everything and apply and stuff like that. So I'll be pretty busy then.
And you might want to talk to Dana, because she's in charge of LTYC, and they always looking for youth, individuals that teach the youth music, and that's a big process. I don't know, would you want to be a teacher?
Actually, yeah, I actually enjoyed teaching. When my 12th grade year of high school, I was a drum instructor for the marching band. Since one of our drum instructors, he had to leave because he had moved to Atlanta, so I had subbed in, helped everybody out, stuff like that. I was actually drum instructor, drum major, assistant band director.
It lends itself to teaching. Music and art in general lends itself to being a teacher, because then you kind of already know the skill set. Is now learning how to convey that and give it to other people how you got it, or just in steps and building them up to kind of actually knowing what they're doing. Is there anything that you want to do with music right now?
Oh yes, I want to continue this like drumming stuff, try to book as many performances as I can. I want to start off local, get my name out there, and then travel around and make music.
Well, you are blessed because you are growing up in an era of social media, so nothing has to ever stay local. Like you can be international, sitting in your house in your boxes and your socks, just playing, and just streaming to the world. So it's really an interesting time. Probably when I started being an artist, your thoughts was to go global or international, but it was harder because you actually had to get out there. But now you got a good camera, and that's all you need for now. You know, as a baby step. But I think I heard you. I was kind of asking you questions the day of, but you said you work with the group A1 Chops.
Yes. So we all went to the same school.
Mhm.
So that's what brought the circle together and everything.
Mhm.
Tim and Lee, they graduated before me, and they had started, street performing down the harbor.
Right.
And I was interested in all that stuff because we all look at like drum percussion in the team. That's the name of the whole thing, like playing and dancing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's what they were doing. And there was this one day I was going down the harbor, just casually walking, and I saw them, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I know them. They my people from school. So I was chilling with them and all that. And Tim, he actually called me down. He was like, yo, hop on real quick, show him something. And there was a whole group of people. At first I was shy. I was like, no, I don't even know what I'm doing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
But you have been ready for this. You've been training for this. It's just doing it in front of people. That's probably
it's like people walking by, stopping, recording and stuff like that. So I played, I messed up a few times, dropped a steak or two, and I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Then a few weeks later, Lee couldn't make it to go down the harbor one day, and Tim had called me. He was like, hey bro, you mind coming downtown with me to street perform? I'll split the money with you and all that stuff like that. At first I wasn't worried about the money. I was like, I don't think I could do it, but I'll try. I'll come down. I'll try. I came down there. I was, started off, I was messing up. Then I got more comfortable as time went by because I kept seeing.
Because there's a lot of people that was stopping by.
And what I always think about is people watching me and smiling and enjoying what I do, and I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Had you really up until that point thought about performing, other than just learning what you're doing? Did you ever think about the performance side? I'm quite sure you performed in front of the school before, and when you're a marching band, you kind of do games, but
that is also another part. So I wear glasses. Apparently they're broke right now, but
eyeglasses. Okay.
So what I would do before we get up and perform, I would take my glasses off, and I won't be able to see anybody, and I wouldn't pay attention to them.
And then you can't see what you're doing, sir. That's dangerous.
Yeah, it was a bit difficult, especially when we were supposed to watch our band director and we cut off and all that. So I was squinting and playing at the same time, just like.
So do you have a phobia, or is it a stage fright still?
It's more like a stage fright, but as I perform more and get more comfortable and stuff like that, I begin to enjoy it.
Loosen up a little bit. You have to learn how to use that energy. Before I'm a stage actor, so I used to do this thing where I would just get the burps. And it wasn't real gas, I just would have to keep burping. And I think I was doing it because I was telling myself I was nervous, and it felt like I was getting rid of my nerves by doing it. But once I learned how to just embody that energy, then you begin to be on a high almost. And it kind of pushes you out there. Then it doesn't faze you how many people out there.
I remember my first performance, doing drumming and everything. I was performing for this little talent night thing for Be More Than Dance, and they had this thing where it's performance of the night and all that. And I was the first person to go up since I was there early. Oh my gosh! So I was nervous after this one song. It was this little club dance song. I was dancing, playing all that, and everybody was around me. They was quiet because he was like, okay, he's I can see he's nervous and all that, but as I go on, I was in my mood and all that, dancing and drumming and stuff like that, and that's when they okay, he getting it now. And I eventually won performance of the night.
Okay, so it was a competition.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah, which led him to talk to me afterwards, and he got me a performance at this school. It was this elementary school. It was right around the corner from where I live, so that was really good thing. I had to leave school early. I was so happy that day.
It's always good to be. I think that's the part about being in a band, because y'all got a little bit more freedom than other people got, the athlete. So you kind of got to leave a little bit more than other people, because y'all normally have performances. Do you enjoy the performance side or the rehearsal? Which side do you prefer?
I actually like both. Usually the rehearsal side, you learn new stuff. You get to have fun and mess up. And the performance side is you get to put all that stuff you do at rehearsal to use and bring what's that word I'm looking for? It's all the stuff that you do at rehearsal you actually put into use at
you get
the
to apply it.
performance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is there anybody else you want to work with in terms of being a musician? Because that's what you do now. It's hard to kind of like be in a group unless everybody else is playing instruments. But now it's possible to kind of merge styles and techniques and stuff like that.
Well, since I said it's like a drum percussion entertainment, it's actually a whole community like of people doing the same thing,
Right.
And everything. So
I learned that through it's a young man in DC, and then
Really dope
A1.
drummer.
Yeah.
Yep,
So him and then A1 Chops were the first two that I kind of saw. I mean, people have always done this. They normally have the little buckets out there, but now it's starting to turn into an actual street performer thing that they do with actual drums and percussion instruments. Do you work with many of them? I know you work with A1, but have you worked with other percussion
yeah, I work with
musicians?
well, not like Malik Dope Drummer. I was just actually talking to him like I think 2 weeks ago about everything about collabing and whatnot. Cause like he was beginning to notice me. He had followed me on Instagram. I was so excited. That was like one of my favorite drummers like coming up and everything. He's like, yeah, we.
Because he did the same thing. He started the same way, and it just generated buzz.
So I actually like collab with people like from different schools like that are in marching bands.
Okay.
Like some people from Dunbar, some people from City. Like they hit me up. Oh, I'm a drummer too. Like we could collab, work on something. I'm like, cool, all right, cool. And there's also like people that want to like record me. They got like actual cameras. They got like YouTube channels and stuff like that. They want to like work with me. And what I also want to do is like work with like different dances and all that.
That's cool. So now you're thinking about the business side of it, not just the art side of it. Do you feel, or I'll say rather, what do you think you would need to learn about the business side?
I would say about the business side.
Or what do you feel like you're lacking on the business side?
I would say the next step after this, I will still be doing music, but it'll be a time where I'm like, man, I'm too tired. Like, oh my gosh. So I would say like starting like a brand basically.
Okay.
Like a brand like a drumsticks or my own drum brand and stuff like that.
Cool.
That part of it.
And I would never have thought about that, but that's something that you need to do your job, but it could possibly help you not to have to do that every single day. I work with a young man now. He's a jazz musician, and he likes being out doing the street performance more than he does like a regular concert. So getting him to focus on his residency has been hard because he likes being out in the street performing. And most musicians at one time looked at that as that's not the best thing to do because you're giving your talent away for free. But how do you see street performing? How do you value that, or what's the value you put on it?
At first, I saw it the same way as people like, man, like you like street performing. But now I see it's like you are talented. Like why not like expose yourself, get like different people to like see you, record you.
Because it's a business. You actually have to get a license to be able to do that.
That's actually what I'm working on now. I'm getting mine like around August.
Okay.
Street performing.
And this is festival season right now, so you might want to speed that up because it really legitimizes you. It restricts where you can play though, because it only gives you a certain amount of places you can actually perform, and most of the places are kind of saturated already. Are you ready for the business of this?
Oh yes, oh yeah. I took up business in my school because we are vocational school. So I took up business admin, and they taught us different stuff like the finance part of it, entrepreneurship, and stuff like that. The only thing I don't like about business is accounting.
Well, that's the most important part because you got to know how to. You got to know how to only not get the money, but keep the money and keep it moving for you. That's any entrepreneur will tell you that's the hardest part about, especially being an artist, because we're taught the passion of what we do, and sometimes the passion is very difficult because we are often trying to balance keeping it fun, and the moment it's not fun, then it becomes work, and once it becomes work, it's like you know, I can push that over to the side. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com with Mr. Jaheim.
Hey. Hey.
Yes, sir. Wow. Like, get out there.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
Gotta remember, is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like, yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up to, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all her homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get it.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat that I read about while watching the games over the weekend. New York Yankees went 22 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
Really?
That's a major league record for the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statistic.
It is, you know, and then when you think about it, it's like, okay, you know, that, to me, that's like a big reason why, you know, they're losing right now.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, with millions of YouTube views.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So you can just start playing. So that is Mr. Jaheim. First of all, that stick would have been across the room. It had it been me. I don't have that type of coordination. But Jaheim is a really talented young man. You put that back on. And just put that to the side. Mr. Jaheim, we have Mr. Jaheim here with us today, a really talented musician. And I'm going to force him to sing a song at some point. But I think he's nervous. But joining us is our co-host, Mr. Noah Brother Noah.
Brother Noah Silas, DDIF, everyone. Thank you.
Do you have your mic?
Yes, I have my
Okay.
mic on.
He's coming from Artscape at the LTYC table.
Yes.
I'm not ready for that. I can just imagine.
It's hot as hell out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Is there plenty of water at the table?
So they have, what, our table? No.
I'm gonna call them.
But they do have free water spots every which way. So you can get a free bottle of water.
Okay.
And the fire folks have the trucks with the hoses. And it's not on mist, it's on
Like full blast. So it's gonna be a couple of showers going on.
I'm pretty sure I saw some soap. Don't drop that shit.
Wow. So yeah, I let them know we'll be out at Artscape this weekend. You come in the rest of the days or no? This was your only day. Be honest.
No, working for LTYC, this is my only day. I've been there since 8, so I think.
You think you did it? Okay, so I'm about to negotiate one day because I don't think I'm be able to take it. I walked from the car to the summer camp, from the summer camp to the car, from the car to the station, and I ain't feeling it. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna be out there with boxers and a wife beater on because I ain't gonna be able to do it.
But I'm sure when it gets cool, folks are gonna come out and it's gonna be lit. And some houses are there.
Who's performing this weekend?
This young thing was gonna be there tapping it up. I'm sure he will.
Who's performing? You know who the headliners are? This?
No, not one of them, because it's actually no one important there.
So look them up there, and we can. I like to at least give them a little shout out. They've supported me financially over the years, so I try to do something, give them a little something. But we have Mr. Jaheim here. He just gave us a little introduction on his practice snare drum. See, I was paying attention. See, I was keeping it together. But we were talking a little bit about how he got to where he's at right now. We was getting into where he wants to go creatively, and more so the business side of what you do. But I'm kind of working our topic today, and our topic was whitewashing black dreams, and I know that's real serious. And he I ain't come here for that today, sir.
I gotta think of something.
No, I mean just what you feel about it. It's not any one particular answer I'm looking for, but I saw a very uneasy interview with Dapper Dan. If you don't know who Dapper Dan is, he blew up in the 80s and more so the 80s, the late 70s and throughout the 80s with a lot of hip hop artists, where he was taking Fendi and Gucci and a number of the big brands, taking their label and making these out of the world outfits for hip hop artists and just the pimps and drug dealers around the world. And he got his fame in doing that, and he kind of lost it all because they actually sued him because copyright infringement. He was using their logo to make clothing and selling it, and he re-emerged in 2000. I mean, people have always known who he is, and he's done business throughout the ages, but lately he's re-emerged because now he has a partnership with Gucci, because what Gucci did was they remade one of his iconic big poofy coats with the Gucci name logo on it, and people knew where it came from. It was exactly the same coat that he had made back in the day, and people complained, and eventually Gucci got back to him, and now he has a partnership with them in terms of being one of their house designers. But the interview with him was really strange because as an artist, he was kind of siding on the side of Gucci, where a lot of people are trying to boycott the business now, Gucci, because of how they, their treatment of our community, and people trying to jump on board, and the blackface thing that they did for their campaign. But he was kind of defending it in an awkward way, but as an older person, it sounded off for him to be defending them, even though he kind of stole their image back in the day. But that was their opportunity to partner with him then versus suing him and kind of bankrupting him. And now he's working for them, so to speak. But in terms of being an artist, are you afraid to call yourself a black musician or a black artist? Being so young, of course, I know that's not as much of a idea for you, but is it?
Not really, cause like I see like a lot of talented people, you know, skin color and everything like that. You know, like everybody has their own talents. Everybody has like different goals and stuff like that. What sets me different from everybody else is I try to look for like the creative side of it, not just like, you know, drumming, dance and stuff like that. I actually like edit videos and all that.
So you know how to do that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Might have another go on the thing. Go ahead.
So
well, he's still young. He got that energy to be up late, just doing stuff until he fall asleep.
So so like as like other videos, you know, you see like the drumming and the dancing. But like how I try to be different is I try to like add like creative stuff. Like say if I'm like sitting right here and I'm drumming, I will edit it so it's like a clone of me, like sitting right here watching, like, you know, doing like goofy stuff like that.
Okay. So you're thinking outside the box almost. Do you feel the need to, and when I say whitewash, it's more so market your work to other types of people outside of the black audience? You don't want to limit yourself,
like somebody
but
doing the same thing as me and like taking the credit,
or how you market yourself. Like I know black businesses that you wouldn't know were black because all their advertisements have white women on it, or you know, they want to look like the more mainstream competition versus being who they are and marketing it that way. Because it's even Dapper Dan said it limits me not to market myself to them versus nobody in our market and our culture can afford Gucci, so why am I marketing into the hood? I want a luxury brand. And he kept saying that. But in terms of what you want to do, how do you see yourself in terms of a marketing strategy?
I would say like if in terms of like other people doing it, I would say if it depends like if they're inspired. Like we were just having a conversation about this like last week. We was talking about like about the whole drumming and dancing thing. We was like, well, because Malik Dope Drummer, he was saying he had started it and everything, and like nobody was going for it. We was like, nah, this been around forever or whatever. But he actually was.
In terms of social media,
yeah,
he kind of did it, the street art side of it. And so you're going beyond what you've seen, and you're kind of, because for you to know people have been doing it, that means you've done some research and you've dug a little bit deeper. Is that a part of what you do, or it just so happen to be how you learn?
Yeah, that's part of I call it the process and everything. Like, if I like discover something new, I would like try to like look at the backgrounds of it and everything. Like, as far as like drumming and everything. Like for drumming, like before I started, I was looking at like different like people that were doing the same thing as me and everything. Like, you know, different like groups and all that. Because it's like in the drumming community, there are like different groups like Bios, A1 Chops, Dope Boy, which is Malik Dope Drummer. It's so on.
And it's easier now, and I don't understand why most people don't do it or kind of give that homage and that respect to people who've done it before, because it's so easy. All you gotta do is search hashtag street drummer, and all of them will come up. But people don't take that initiative to do that now.
Yeah, like so, like under my videos and everything, you like, you know, all the hashtags and all that, so I can like gain people to come to the post and everything. You'll see like hashtag I use my hashtag hybrid percussion. I call it, that's hybrid. Like 2 in 1, like dancing and drumming.
Okay.
Hybrid. Like,
he just explained it to me, like, dummy, look.
not like, but then hashtag Bios. Bios is bring your own style.
Okay.
Then I put hashtag A1 Chops, hashtag this, hashtag that.
Okay.
You know, they'll show like, yeah, we all like, this is what we do, like this is that.
And it shows kind of your connection to all of them as well, because some people just put a hashtag and don't even know the people and just try to get on where they at. But it's smart of you to create your own hashtag. Like somebody your age doesn't normally think that way. They just trying to latch onto what's hot versus creating your own and then, you know, making yourself familiar with those people. You have any?
Tell me the journey it is for you.
Tell me the journey.
On a day-to-day basis, trying to legitimize this art form. You know? Because I literally was just with you at the Invented Players at the Maryland pop-up, and you killed it. You rocked the show. But I normally, and I'm sure the majority of folks in this city and around the country, see performances like this on the street. So to see you inside of the theater, it's starting to transcend.
Right.
So what is that journey for you trying to legitimize this art?
Alright, so when you like street performing, you're like outside and everything, and people going by and like stuff like that. You'll catch their eye basically. You know, they walk by, they see, oh, he's doing something, he's doing something great. I'm recording and stuff like that. Then when you're on stage, like people are actually there to see you and stuff like that. So that's actually like one up than being down the street performing. I'm not saying that it's like better than street performing, because like with street performing it's like a whole different experience and everything. But on the stage, you actually take it like to a next level. You're actually like going from, oh, I'm just do this like on the street and everything, but you're actually going on the stage and have like an audience right there ready to watch you.
So they know specifically they coming to see you. Does that mess up your, like, you get butterflies, or which one is less nerve-wracking to you now?
Well, street performing, you don't know like who's gonna stop to see you. So you basically like trying to do your best to like catch their eye for them to stop to watch you. When with like on the stage, you know that they're gonna be sitting there like, all right, so what's he gonna do? I came here and all that kind of stuff like that. So I guess it'll make you more nervous because they got expectations for you.
Oh, okay. Like so how did the dance come into play?
Well, the dance, it all started like watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. You know, I like watch a lot of like Chris Brown dance videos. And like.
So had you danced before, or is just?
Yeah, like when I was younger, like little Easter dance.
You said when I was younger, like.
These little Easter parties they had like dance competitions, and you know, for me like watching all these Chris Brown videos and like trying to mimic everything, I was like always prepared. I'm like, yeah.
He was rocking off at the kiddie disco. Yeah. Okay, I see you. I see you.
That $20.
Okay, I see you. Is that? But how did you know to bring that with your drumming? Is that because I know that's a kind of a trend, but how did you feel about bringing that to your drumming?
It's to add more excitement to it. Like instead of like sitting there, you know, drumming and stuff like that, you can like, oh, I can do this also, boom, oh, jump and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's like, oh, dang, he dancing and drumming? That's crazy.
What does your rehearsal process look like though?
A lot of music. I try to like listen to like as much music as I can a day.
Okay.
Like so I go like to the little radio station on my Apple Music account and just listen to anything like is this good to drum to? If it's good, I'll put it in a playlist. I got my own drumming playlist. I'll add that in there. Then I got a separate one that for like when I'm making a video, so I'll put it in there. And all day just listening to music and practicing and stuff like that.
I was blown away at the Maryland only because the energy that you gave, the crowd control, and just the very essence, the presence that you have on the stage is very dynamic, and you grasp the audience. And the fact that you had to dance with it on top of the legendary drumming skills, I honestly think that you have nowhere to go without the position.
And he's only 17. How do you keep yourself out of trouble?
Stay home and watch Netflix.
Okay.
But
that's one way. Hashtag AC. Hashtag mom got snacks.
Yeah. But also like choose like the group I want to be like the group of friends I hang with now is like the group of friends I grew up with. So I know that like that they're not gonna get in trouble and stuff like that. I know to trust them and stuff in terms of like, you know, we more mature. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
And I also hang with like groups that's like older than me, and they teach me a lot. Like Tim and Leek, I think they're like 2 or 3 years older than me. I always chill with them. You know, they teach me different stuff, like the business side you were just talking about. They tell me like, oh yeah, make sure like if a company try to give you a contract to perform and all that, just give it to me and I'll read it for you and I'll tell you like all the things about it, because they'll try to like get to you and all that.
Or have you doing more than what you're getting paid for?
Yeah, stuff like that. And last week when Malik Dope Drummer, he was in town actually. He was teaching us a whole bunch of stuff as the business side and like making sure like we stay healthy and all that. And stuff.
Do you ask questions? Are you good at asking questions?
Yeah.
In terms of just learning and, you know, about contracts and about the business side of it. Because Malik and the A1 Chops, they're now traveling. They both got management, so they're being seen in bigger places. Are you ready for that?
Well, not yet. I still want to start off local and everything. Like, get used to, like, you know, going here and there. Because I'm actually by myself. Like, with them, it's like 2 of them. And then plus their manager and all of the other stuff, you know. So I'm starting off like, all right, so I got to go here. I got to, you know, jot this down, put it in my phone or my notes and whatever. And do that. And with, like, traveling around, I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Mr. Jaheim. We got a little bit more time to go, so don't go anywhere. Please continue to share out to your Uncle Pookie, Peaches, all of them.
Take a shot of Patron. Let's try that, please.
We'll be right back.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, one with a home run, dribble.
Right, hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay.
I think that's is it near our state or is it
okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have, well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that then
your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
As a resident welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. Today we have in the building Mr. Jaheim. Can you give us your social media and tell people where they can find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at just.heim. That's JUST.HEIM. My Facebook, Jaheim Johnson, or you can follow my drumming page, which is Heim the Drummer. My Twitter, which I am working on, is also.
Okay. Are you social media savvy? One of those individuals? So are you meeting people on there, or are you just posting, or?
Oh, I mean, a lot of people. That's how I book some of my performances, actually.
Okay.
Like, people hit my DM, like, I see you. That's actually how I got my very first paid performance. I was so happy. So I had this performance at Coppin for this.
Hey, Coppin.
For this dance recital, I think CSOD.
The community dance program they got.
Yep. And this guy, his name is King Los. Yep. He had his. He's like, hey man, I saw your video. I think you were like, they were wanting to see you perform here at Coppin. And it was like, oh man, really? And he was like, yeah. And he hooked me up with them and all that, and I got paid plus a bonus for that performance. And they want me again in September.
So I think as artists, we all remember that first paycheck we get. So what did you do with your paycheck?
What I did was I got some new sticks because the ones I had was like beat up after that performance.
See, that's, that alone, I have to set this young man aside because that's not what I did. I went on vacation with my buddy. So you bought sticks, what else did you buy?
A lot of food.
Okay, that sounds normal. You eat.
Yeah,
But you took care of your artistry first.
Yeah.
Is that something that was instilled on you, or you just love it so much that you just invest everything you have in it?
I invested everything I had in it. Like, this practice pad is like $300. I didn't.
Boy, I could have. Let me find him something. I'll tell you what it is. That looks really heavy.
It's like with the beads and the $1,000 and all that.
Okay. Was that your first dollar?
Yep, first dollar.
That's what's up.
I try to put more stickers on there to cover up the scratches from me.
That's work. That's work, sir. You don't cover up the work.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome because most people don't think to reinvest. They just think about, I gotta get these fresh sneakers. And you probably did that too a couple times, but it's cool because you gotta look fresh. Or put a little bit to the side for the fresh sneakers. So maybe this performance you can break the fresh sneakers out.
So to borrow a quote or a line or a statement,
He's just so extra.
Barack Obama. Do you think, and I ask this question myself every day when it comes to the acting and directing, do you think
Louder.
that drumming is something that you want to do? Like, is it something that you are willing to give up everything for?
Oh yes. Gosh.
He plays other instruments though.
Oh yeah. I play trumpet, piano.
Talented, this man.
With drumming, I think about it every day. It's like I'm risking a lot because I want to put everything into it so bad.
My advice is put the energy and the work in now, because the decisions you make now, 10 years, 5 years from now, you'll be living in those decisions. So it's so much easier to distract yourself with fun. Like, have fun now and make what you do fun. So you're not feeling like I gotta go outside of this to have fun, because then that means it's work at that point. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Jaheim. Don't go anywhere. The Artist Exchange Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Far into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. Think we should.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. We got Mr. Jaheim about to share a little bit more with us.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little dramatic, I see as well.
Like a sensei.
So, Mr. Jaheim is with us. We met him last week doing an event down at the Arena Playhouse, the pop-up with Marilyn Mosby. And this gentleman, like, he really stuck out. I mean, because we had toddlers, you were kind of like, you were going to stick out. But beyond that, just your professionalism, and I could see you were a little bit more poised than a lot of the young artists that I meet today. And in talking to you now, I see your preparation is like above the rest because you think about things that I don't hear coming from some of our students. We teach a lot of young people, and that's just not where their minds are. They see those people that inspire you, and that's where they want to be, but they don't see anything from where they are to where they are. And they don't see that line of progression and preparation that they have to put in. They just like, I'm gonna buy the drum, I'm gonna play the drum, and that's it. But you value the preparation because not only does he play music and multiple instruments, but he knows how to read music, and he's working on writing music. So I can't wait to hear like what comes from that. Are there any other non-musicians that you want to team up with? Like rappers, singers, or you said dancers as well?
Yeah, dancers like what's their name? The Les Twins. They was actually in Baltimore like a couple weeks ago for the little.
They did a workshop.
Yep. I wanted to perform for that so bad. Oh my God.
Do you know when they? I mean, this is like the second or third time that they come back here, so I think this is a big spot for them to be able to come. So I would just look them up, like you do on social media, and get their itinerary, because everybody now is reachable, and you can go to social media and get them. So that's a group that you want to work with.
Them. This is other group. I forgot their name. They made the song. I just wanna. They started off as dancers before they made.
Oh, okay. That's a local group.
Well, they're not local anymore.
Okay. So you look at a lot of people that kind of go through here, and what makes somebody interested enough for you to want to work with them?
It's basically like seeing that. Well, when I see like somebody on my social media, I look at what they're doing. I look at like the energy of it and everything, and how it affect everybody else around it.
Right.
Like say, I'll say another drummer, like these drumming and everything. I look past the drummer. I'll see like what is he doing, like while he drumming, like is he dancing, is he like just sitting there, stuff like that. I'm not looking at like is he good or not, but like how he's playing. Like look at the community, I look at the comments and stuff like that. Oh, he's pretty cool. I like that and all that.
Kind of the feedback. So you looking all the way around, not just the talent, not just the business, but kind of the whole package.
Yeah.
But see, that's not something, and I think a number, especially mentors out there, and this is something that may be on you because somebody may be looking at you like this soon. But that's the type of energy that you have to give to people that are watching you, that are under you as a mentee. Because a lot of people just don't have this, and schools are definitely not teaching it, they're not getting it at home, and a lot of the programs are kind of limited in what they can teach. But the professionalism side, the business side of it, the etiquette side of it is definitely is needed. Because for you, how much time do you put into rehearsing outside of performance every week?
I say about 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours?
Or
Is that daily or?
Yeah, every day.
See, and that's
like on my free time, I'll just practice. Like yesterday, well, it wasn't like free time. I was making something to eat for my mother, and like while I was waiting for the food to cook, I was listening to music and like working on choreography, and stuff like that. And it wound up getting hot, so I had to go outside and finish practicing and all that.
But that's typical for you to put at least 2 to 3 hours in every day, and that's something like right now that you're out of school, that becomes your job, like marketing yourself and marketing and preparing. That's your job now. As an artist, now that you've graduated from school.
Yeah. Because you are your own business, So.
And Noah is not that far from like being out of School of the Art. So we were talking in the very beginning, that transition from being a student to being is you.
Yeah.
And it can be hard for some people because most people are waiting for what a professor or a teacher is putting in their lap to do.
Absolutely.
So you're looking at an assignment. Yep. You're looking at, for me, I went as far as college, so you're looking at what's the syllabus? What does the syllabus say we're going to do this semester? And you got to now translate that and begin to create your own lesson plan. So when I get up, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to, go do some social media. I'm going to rehearse. I'm going to find somewhere to maybe go play today, and turn that into your job because you're an artist, that's your job. You may not be getting the money in like you want to, but and it's not gonna come in like a regular job.
Yeah, I thought about like all the performances I had like that wasn't paid. I'm like, it's gonna be hard later on, but it's worth it though, cause like that that talent night performance got me my first gig at the school. And then I think that pop-up performance got me here. So I'm just like thinking about all of that and where they could get me, even though it's not paid.
And see, that's how you have to look at things. And I notice a lot of, and not just younger artists, but just artists in general and entrepreneurs. If it's not paid, I ain't doing that. But you could have been talking to maybe the future mayor of our city, somebody who's doing these things for other people. And when you're not getting paid for something, you need to go harder in communicating with people and going out talking to people in that audience and just meeting people, because that's your fan base.
Yeah, I always use that, like those performances to like network with others, like to meet new people. We can like either collab, like shout them down my contacts, we could like talk and stuff like that.
And, but sometimes they're not always going to be working professionals. That could be people that's just added to your social media list.
Yeah.
Possible ticket sales, possible, sponsors. You never know who is why. It was people who I met like a couple days being down here, being so it was a lot of city officials there that I didn't even know was there, and they knew who I was just by being there. And you just never know who's watching you. That was one of the reasons why myself and Dana was like, well, ask each one of them like a little bit about themselves, so they get used to presenting themselves to people. It's not, but remember, use them nerves, transfer that into an energy that then makes you use your, because you're prepared. So normally when you suck at something, it's because you have not prepared. Absolutely. It's not because you could be nervous and it goes, you just all wrong, but just always know how prepared you are, and your nerves will just go away, and you'll still be nervous. I still get butterflies. It's still like every performance is like the first one, but that's never gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, that's how it was at my school. Like I said, I always took off my glasses before we performed. And now, like, I get so comfortable performing and everything. I just like do like all this like extra stuff. And, like, even when we not performing, I would still like be dancing in the hallway on my way to class and stuff like that. And now they know me as that boy that's just always dancing and listening to music in the hallway, like doing transition.
And Emerson is not it's a rough school. Like, so you gotta really be an individual and really know who you are to fit in there and kind of be a part of that environment. You miss high school?
Yeah, like I was early. I was looking at all my old story posts and everything, and like saying like all the stuff we was like doing in school. Like during lunch, we were always me and my band members. We were always chilling in the band room, like during our lunch. We got our own lounge.
Okay.
That was the best.
That was the best part about being in the band, because y'all had your own little space to run away to.
Practice rooms,
lucky bastards
and everything.
Acting like it nothing.
Because it's normally off from everything else in the school, so it's normally in the basement or off somewhere where it ain't nobody else. That's why people wanted to be in a band, I think. I think that's the only reason why I was there. I never made the actual performances. I only came to rehearsal. But that's a little bit about me. But so you're going to BCCC starting in the fall?
Yep.
You ready for that?
Oh yeah. So they gave us these 2 to 3 hour classes early in the summer.
But that's, so you said you missed school, so this is the process. Yeah. The only difference now is being at BCCC, you'll have to pick your own schedule. Like you'll have to define what I'm doing and not get too hung up in the quad. And checking out everything, and you can have fun, definitely have fun, because that's the experience of college, but like do the work now so you're not 30, 40, 50 like singing shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or trying to do what you were supposed to do 20 years before that. Is there anything that you would think we want to know about you, or what is something that we don't know about Jaheim?
What's your favorite color?
I have multiple favorite colors. My favorite color.
This man is weird. He just.
My favorite color is black, white, red, and gold. I like black and white because like black and white goes with everything, and like it matches my personality. Like at first, like I'm like oh my god, but then I just like relax and just like chill with the vibe or whatever.
So what's something interesting about yourself that nobody would know? Do you have any secret talents or weird hobbies?
Weird hobbies.
That mean yes.
All right, so when I'm listening, when I'm like by myself and I'm listening to music, I would like imagine myself like, in a music video, like dance around and stuff like that. Only when I'm by myself.
So you be singing into the brush and everything.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like last night.
That's that singer trying to get out, and you kind of keeping them hostage.
Like last night, I had to like clean the kitchen and everything because we still got chores and everything.
That's lifestyle. Your house, you gonna want your house to be dirty? You gotta.
And I was listening to the song. It was an old Chris Brown song, "Wall to Wall," and like he was singing. I was like, dancing, like I was like, background dancing, stuff like that. And I was like to my brother, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, like go ahead.
But now you preparing for like your own performances. So now that's not just weird. That's you now conceptualizing your first video or moves that you want to incorporate into your work? So now you like, I'm working. Whenever they catch me, I'm working. That was me singing Luther Vandross songs. I'm working on my artist. I'm trying to be creative. So is there anything, so in terms of like growing up in Baltimore City or going to school now, now you're still going to school, but what about this community has kind of inspired you to be who you are?
It inspired me to like no matter like what happens, try to make the best of it, because you never know what could happen. Like anything could happen. So like where I'm at, I try to make sure I have as much fun as I can. Not too much like stuff like that, but like make sure like.
Is your mom listening? You don't want to think you haven't seen much. I get you.
Make sure like that I'm in a good mood. Like make sure all positive vibes and all that. Like even when I'm mad, I like sit down and think about it for a minute. Then I'm just like, I don't even know why I'm mad anymore. Like try to like get past it.
Okay. Is it difficult saying, you know, I went to Emerson and not having the best reputation, or, you know, I went to school in the Village and that's not having the best reputation, but how do you work beyond, you know, what your environment is?
Well, as far as Emerson and everything, and like the environment, we wasn't like a good school, but I still like say it loud, but oh yeah, I went to Emerson Westside High School, you know, the Red Storms, people can say, oh, we Redskins and all that, but I say it loud and proud, we the Red Storms. Like even though like they say like, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and we still have our good stuff, like our trades and everything. Like the business trade, we working with Nifty, like the business competitions and stuff like that. And then we got Skills USA, which we always like go to every year.
Okay. So is that where you learn? Because you said you do. What was it? I think you said you do graphic design or
visual effects.
Visual effects.
Yeah.
So the video editing, is that where you learn some of those skill sets from?
Yeah.
So what do you plan on doing with that? How are you incorporating that into what you're doing now?
So what got me into like visual effects and everything? I watch a lot of movies and everything, and like stuff like green screen and all that. And like I look at like the bloopers, like the behind the scenes stuff like that, and that's like what really catches my eye. And what got me into editing was like when I was younger, I had this little flip phone or whatever, this little flip phone, like always record videos and stuff like that. And I found this little option where you can pause in the middle of the video and continue whenever you want it. So I paused it, go into another room, and play it again, and it looked like I teleported.
On Boost?
Huh? Yeah, it was on Boost. Yeah, on the Boost track phone.
But that became something that was as interesting as the music was, and you're trying to figure out now how to kind of incorporate that. So have you shot any videos or?
Yeah, actually, I guess I'm like on my 20th video, like with just like editing and everything. Like I try to like add something like new, like everyone, like just like yesterday, I had made this one video where I was trying something different, where I had like at least like 4 to 5 clones in like one video. Actually, you want me? I can show you.
Sure. But as he's queuing that up, can you, Noah, just speak to that, like life after school?
Life after school?
Yeah, because I'm about to put him into a university. I ain't paying for it, but he don't know it yet though. But we're working on that.
Damn.
But just life after, because he's kind of like literally, he just finished in June.
Yeah.
But it's been a couple years for you.
Yeah, it's been about like 6-7 years. Life after school has been very rigorous. No matter how much training that you get, regardless of this BS curriculum that we have to follow, that's really not preparing us for the hazardous survival, for the hazardous land that we live in. But life after school was
That's
really
called parenting. That's what you're speaking about.
It's trial and error. It really is. Like it's.
And a curriculum shouldn't constrict you, because a curriculum is only showing you the basis or a technique, and you're supposed to from that develop your style and your technique. So especially to artists, don't get boggled down with how your teacher is teaching you, because they're normally teaching you how they were taught to do something. So don't get stuck in that. Absolutely. And learn to then take that knowledge from what you need from it, and then develop your own style, your own technique.
I mean, I think that's probably one of the number one issues with a lot of teachers that we have today. A lot of them really don't have sufficient training when it comes to flexibility of curriculum and differentiating the children in their learning.
We will definitely have to talk, sir. I have some ideas, but say that again. I'm sorry.
I can't say all those words again. But they
that's that shot you just took.
But they heard me, okay?
But I mean, tell us where that came from. How did you develop that mindset? Or
I developed that mindset. I mean, I'm a graduate of the Baltimore School for the Arts, and hands down.
And he's really 89 years old.
And hands down, regardless if it was in my theater classes, my film classes, my academia classes, it was all completely whitewashed. There was no essence of who we came from, only for an American history class briefly about our asses being whipped. So it comes from a lack of identity.
But what did that force you to do while you were there, and then certainly after you left there?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. While I was there, I was an acting major, and I became the greatest yes man in the history of all. I put my head down, I learned the techniques, and I just went through it. And of course, when I graduated from that school and really came out to learn some real things, really have some deep conversation with some real good brothers and sisters, and you really have to transcend your mind, really like open yourself up, take the blue pill in the matrix, and realize that every fabric reality you thought was true is but a lie.
But you are not telling the whole truth, because you still had connections to those things that helped you to identify yourself. You had family members in the arts. You were a couple blocks from the arena players. Like, you lived in the community, the urban community.
I would say, of course, from the outside in, yes. But from the inside out, you don't know my own struggle.
I do. I don't. I actually do.
So in that case, it was a sense of like a reverence against Baltimore. Like a hate. I really, really hated Baltimore. I hated the culture. I hated everything, and that really stemmed right around the time that I got into BSA. So again, I really had to burn the trash out my soul and reevaluate myself as an artist. And I found that once I really hunkered down in the foundations of who I am, my personality, my blackness in America, that's when I really found the depth of my artistry.
And we're going to take our last commercial break, but before we do, that's a part of growing up. And that's what happens once you transition from being a child to being an adult. The veil of ignorance is now lifted, and nobody can lie to you about the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus anymore.
Absolutely.
So you learn and you become either like really you engulfed in what is real, or you become really hateful about what's not.
Absolutely.
And that's a part of the growth process, and what your next step is, and how you were raised and how you were reared and how you have been guided will then determine what's next.
Yes.
And it's not, and that's as simple as it is. But we're gonna come back with Miss Moore, with Mr. Jaheim. We got one more segment to go. Up next is the Cocktail Social Talk Show.
Cocktail Social Talk Show.
We're gonna come right back to the break. I just wanted him to turn around.
He needs some crab legs in
we'll
there.
Be ready. We'll be right back.
Garlic butter.
I just wanted him to turn around. He just standing right there.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Ooh. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I love being around young artists and just seeing them kind of bud before, and I kind of understood what a lot of my professors were saying when I was that age, and I didn't
Aren't
listen
you
to
technically
them.
still a young artist? I mean,
I am. I'm not saying I'm old.
Okay.
Where did that come from? I'm saying I like being around young artists.
Gotcha.
I just like to see that inspiration, especially ones like yourself that are really poised and very. But I really like to see the inspiration because it reminds me of where I was. Because sometimes as you grow into being an artist, you lose not necessarily the passion, but you lose that thing that made you want to, stay up all night and learn, new songs, or rehearsing all day and the grocery aisle dancing when you should have been getting the groceries your mother told you to bring back home. So, but it sometimes we forget what that raw energy was and why we do it. So don't lose it. You will forget it from time to time, but keep yourself active in your artistry, even if it's not music. Like, find other parts of the artistry, of the arts that kind of speak to you. So that will always bring you back to what you were most passionate about. If you wasn't a musician, what would you be doing right now?
Like, as far as like outside of music, well, I would still be taking up business because that was like, I would become an entrepreneur. I would either be working with a company to start my own business, or I would probably.
So now's the time.
But mainly, I would be taking the business route.
So I normally ask, as one of like the last questions, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self? But since you're 17, we're going to reverse that and say what advice would you give to, say, your 60-year-old self?
60?
Or what would you say to your 60-year-old self if you were sitting across the table from him?
All the stuff that you like go through is like worth it. Like wherever you like end up at, like remain consistent. Don't go too fast. Don't go too slow. Make sure you got that steady pace. Be careful, and like remember like where you came from. Like remember how you started, where you started, and like think of like where you will go when you on that journey.
So to remind your 60-year-old self of what that passion was. What's that thing that keeps you up late at night doing that? Or here right now talking about that when you could be, getting lit somewhere.
When I listen to music, you usually like see people like dancing, doing their hair, stuff like that. I would actually like play like I would like listen like closely to the beat and like play it, or like play like what the drum would sound like if I was playing to it. So like if I'm hearing a song, I'd be like stuff like that when I listen to music, and like move my feet, stuff like.
Keeping the rhythm always being inside of you.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, one, for coming on, and just definitely welcome. I don't do that for many people, but welcome you to come back on because I'm always interested in growth and what's next. Real quick, tell us where some upcoming events that we can probably catch you at.
All right, so tomorrow I'm performing with Be More Than Dance. I think it's at Artskate. I gotta look at the flyer again one more time. Then August 3rd, I'll be performing out Columbia for this fundraiser, for this flag football game. It's a back to school event and everything. mid-August, I'll say around August 15th or August 20th, is this fashion show up Towson. I'm performing for that. So while the models are backstage, like getting dressed and everything, I'll be on the stage performing. September, I'll be up Coppin again, performing at this dance recital for CSOD again. Then October,
Big Coppin.
Huh?
Yay, Coppin. Whoop, whoop.
And October, I forgot what that one was for October. It's for, I think it was another pop-up event. What is it?
For Maryland, yeah, I think it's down there. I think the aquarium.
It's at the Science Center.
Science Center, okay, the Science
Center.
Center.
The Science Center in October.
Nice.
Yeah, that is what you're saying. Okay. Sometimes dates be. I need to write stuff down sometimes too. But up next, the Cocktail Social Happy Hour radio show. So stay tuned, stay locked in. We got 3 shows back to back now. After them, it is what it is. Radio show. You got something to say, sir?
I have something to say.
You got to jump in there. Say it. Tick, tick, boom.
Drink. That's it.
Don't. It's too hot. We'll be right back next Monday, actually. Same time, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Somebody give me some juice.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's